What's going on? And the one and only.
Y'all know what it is, man. Straight out the south side of the ATL himself, the Outcast of Podcast, the infamous Mr. Mark. What's going on, peoples?
Hey, what it do? How's it going? How are
Man,
you today?
I'm great. It's Sunday. The sun's out. It's kind of hot still. I'm cooling. Everything is good. It's been the hottest month ever according to the news. Hottest days ever according to the news. But we still trucking.
That's right.
What about you? What's going on your end?
Yeah, we out here. Well, I am also enjoying the outdoors. It's been real hot, but it's been nice, not too bad. In and out of the AC. AC works in my car. AC works in my house. I am fortunate and I am happy because I can rest when it gets too hot. But I've been enjoying it.
Because you need it for both right now. It's that heat where it's like you really don't want to do nothing outside while it's too hot.
Mm-mm.
But at the same time, it's warm enough where if you out there like 6-7 o'clock, you good.
Yeah.
You just enjoying good, you know what I'm saying? That good southern weather, man. Straight up, straight down.
Yes. And you know what? Luckily, there's been rain, but it hasn't been so bad, so there are not a lot of mosquitoes. Because normally
I wouldn't
7 o'clock, there's a lot of mosquitoes.
look. I wouldn't mind more rain. I have a wasp nest I'm dealing with that is the size of probably a medicine ball. And I need something to help get that big motor scooter off the top of my house. Period.
Hey, it's a southern living, boy. Summertime and
and listen, like I've been spraying it, intermittently with Raid, and I've seen the volume of wasps running in and out of the nest decrease significantly, but they're still coming in and out. So it's like I know I've been hit a dent to the population, but the thing is they're still here. And I used a whole can of Raid on that first round. So, the next plan is to hit it with some more Raid and go out there with that pressure wash on Monday and pray.
Just make sure you stay safe, sir. Just stay safe.
Absolutely. I think as long as I'm as hooded and masked up as those young guys were in my backyard that day, I feel like I should be all right.
That's terrible. Yes, but you've seen it for yourself and it works. So.
Yes, exactly. So what's in the news this week, dog? What's on the agenda to come?
Man, well, I'm a summertime baby, and so a lot of things come with the summertime. You got your July 4th, you got your swimming, you got your, short shorts and shirts and sandals and all that good stuff. And you also got blockbuster movies in the summertime. Everybody knows summertime is always going to be something big. And everybody goes to the box office. You go with your friends and your family and you have the movie experience. Well, a lot of the writers and actors in Hollywood had a little bit different idea for how to spend this summer blockbuster season. And they're on strike, which I find very interesting. Yeah, what you been reading about that?
I'm reading that it's for very good reason. One of the biggest ones being the fear, well, maybe not the fear, but the concerns involving artificial intelligence and what these movie studios are doing with and without the permission of both living and dead actors and families of dead actors and actresses. Something needs to be done on that front. And when you hear, of course, the normal capitalistic nonsense coming from studio heads such as Bob Iger, who made a comment, that I think he said something to the effect that the writers and actors are unreasonable, and he has like a $600 million contract.
Okay, so
like, exactly. It's like they're unreasonable. How about we cut your salary by 80%, or you're still making, I don't know, $85-90 million, and then you spread the rest of that money around your corporation. I mean, but that's just me. I'm a socialist, so you already know how I get down.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, some things are just really obvious, and I am encouraged by how much unionizing has been happening in the country in the past few years, really since the pandemic. Workers are really understanding their value. They're consolidating their resources and their voices, and they're demanding change and particular treatment from their employers. Yeah, let's do more of that. And I love how, so I just want to do a certain special shout out to Ron Perlman, and I'm going to put this up on the screen so folks can see. But y'all know Ron Perlman. I know him from Beauty and the Beast back in the day, but I'm also dating him.
Hell no. I know him from Hellboy and from Blade 2. Much cooler movies. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, it was a TV show, but that's not the thing. But One of the things I love that Ron Perlman said that I thought was so on point and really made a lot of sense for apparently is his off-screen actual personality and not just his personality on Sons of Anarchy. But he said, "Listen to me, motherfucker. There's a lot of ways to lose your house." This is in response to an article that came out with some top exec was talking about, it was okay for people to lose their houses and such. And you'll see that here. So in response to that, Ron Perlman's like, "Listen to me, motherfucker. There's a lot of ways to lose your house. Some of it's financial, some of it's karma, some of it's just figuring out who the fuck said that." And we know who said that. And we know where he fucking lives. Oh, I love that. You talk real big shit, but like you said, let's cut your salary. Let you lose your house. And then let's have this conversation again. And so what he was saying was basically, this exec said that families, they're willing to wait for families to starve and to lose their houses. And like you said, they're making $27 million, but they're not actually doing anything. It's all the writers, the grip, the actors, they're the ones who are actually creating the content that these bigwigs are taking all the money from. So,
and I think from the regular Joe like us who may be ignorant to some portions of that particular industry, I think it's been extraordinarily informative to see some of the residual checks that these writers and artists are seeing, and it's freaking pathetic. The lead actress from the show P-Valley, the lady who plays Mercedes, was showing her checks. One was like $3 or $4. The other was less than that. There was a writer who said he worked on the She-Hulk. He or she, he said they said that they worked on She-Hulk for Marvel. Last year was one of Marvel's, miniseries for everybody knows what Marvel's doing when it comes to money and Disney. His residual check was $396. And it's like, again, we know the kind of money Bob Iger is making. We know that, single movies like Avengers Endgame brought in over $1 billion. It's like, if one movie is bringing in $1 billion, where the hell is the money going? If the writers, we know, but again, it's like, come on now, let's not be silly. And that's possible. That's also part of why I don't think we'll see $1 billion movies head into the future anymore. I mean, people. Yeah, I think that time's done. I think, one, you don't have a machine like Marvel that was working up to something that just, built momentum and became a giant, and secondly, you'll still see $1 billion movies, but I don't think people are willing to just go to the movies 4 and 5 times to see the same movie over and over again. It happens, but I don't think it's going to happen near to the effect that it was happening pre-pandemic.
Well, shit, have you seen the ticket prices? You can't afford to go back to back.
Right. And that's part of it. When you have tickets and then you have popcorn and you have snacks and the drink. And let's be honest, man, I don't think it's asking too much to want popcorn and a drink when you go to a movie. But when the tickets are $18 each and then popcorn and the drinking is $11 combo, you're looking at almost $55, $60 just to have popcorn and drink in a movie.
And you are not, still hungry when you leave.
And that's what I was about to say. You still got to go to dinner before, after, and have drinks and shit. So,
and drinks. You're sober.
And chances are you probably subscribe to the movie studio because you probably have a subscription to whatever movie studio you like the most at home. So you're already paying them on a monthly basis anyway. Things have changed. Right. Yeah. We're in a different environment now.
Yeah. No, my mom called it a long time ago when AI stuff came out. She's like, actors are going to have a run for their money. She said that like literally like almost probably good 10 years ago. And here we are. She's right. We don't even need you. You can be dead and gone. It was going to take your life.
Speaking of that, I was talking to my wife. I don't know if you know anything about the Flash movie that recently came out.
Oh, yeah.
But Flash in that movie, basically, they went through the entire history of DC Comics, movies, and television shows, and they put likenesses of those actors and actresses in that Flash movie, including the actor that was on the CBS Flash show back in the 90s.
Wow.
And he was interviewed about that, and they asked him, hey, did you wear the suit, blah, 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 blah. He's like, I didn't know I was in the movie until I saw the movie.
Are you serious?
And it tells you how far Hollywood is going because, quote unquote, it's my property. I can do with it what I want. But then if you see your dead mother or your dead uncle on television, that's some traumatizing shit. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be allowed to happen.
No, but you know what that sounds like? It's almost like is with all the advancements that Hollywood has made, it's starting to sound like, remember those studios back in the day? They literally owned actors.
Yes.
It wasn't
Yes.
like we want you and then we'll pay you to be. And it's like, no, we own you and you will do this. And it's almost sounding like it's like that kind of studio mentality, but they literally don't even need your human body anymore. Like once you've given your face once, it's a wrap. I feel like I've seen that movie before.
And you know what's another example of that too, and just how far the AI is going is I sent you a picture earlier this week of the black women, the 3
You did.
black women that were all AI.
You did.
And you know, there was even a time where they couldn't duplicate us like that. You know what I'm saying? Where the black people especially would always look weird. No, they got like that shit is perfect. And it
Yeah.
tells you like even kind of not necessarily want to, but to wrap this into politics as well. What they're saying we're going to see come 2024 when it comes to political campaigning commercials and things, we've never seen the likes of it. We'll probably see commercials of Joe Biden and Donald Trump, if that's who the nominee is, saying and doing some outrageous shit. Yeah. And it's not real footage, but it's going to look very, very, very real to human eyes. We're coming into a very different time.
And the thing is, people also don't have the discernment. They can't have certain stuff on TV, on the internet, in the news, and you know damn for sure they got some AI so-and-so's with so-and-so. I think that like when Trump was hugging Fauci or something like that, or something bogus. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't have the discernment to be able to tell. So this is like putting 20 on 10 if you ask me. And it's only going to make things and the violence and the misunderstandings and the polarization even worse. So
yeah, it's going to magnify everything to the nth degree because we both know that somebody is always going to push that limit. Somebody's always going to go where everybody knows they shouldn't go, and somebody's going to push that button because that's the society we live in, where we honor and elevate guys like Joe Rogan who push bullshit just because it's contrarian to what everybody else says. It's just weird how much COVID and QAnonymous and social media all wrap itself up into like a big misinformation / disinformation bubble that doesn't look like it's going to burst. It just keeps getting bigger and just starting to just, I don't know, it's grabbing more things. You even see black people fall in line with some of these weird ass conspiracy theories with just nonsense. Kyrie Irving with the whole earth is flat. It's like, what happened? There was a time when our people stayed far, far away from that crazy bullshit when we could call it crazy bullshit from a mile away.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
It still goes back to, I've been saying this, there's something going on with black men that are still tied to this system that we have before us, even though it's tanking all of us. And there are many more black male conservatives and black women conservatives. And why is that? We need to unpack that shit. We need to
many more black men voted for Donald Trump than black women.
Exactly. Why? So, I don't know.
Meanwhile, the Republicans on the House floor calling black folks colored people.
And
did you see that this week?
And saying that Michelle Obama was taking the spot, or someone like taking the spot. You know, boy,
mediocre piece of shit. You didn't even finish junior college. You piece of garbage. You got the nerve to open your fucking mouth to say anything about Michelle Obama and what she was doing before she was the first lady, motherfucker. Like, once people got microphones and can talk in front of YouTube, you really got some dumbasses out there saying some dumbass shit for real for the whole world to hear. And sometimes I feel like those people need to be slapped in the mouth and brought back to reality. It's internet gangsters all over again.
Well, let me tell you something. There's nobody better to do that than a black woman.
Amen.
A good old-fashioned mammy smackdown with slapping their mouths, and then we get back to where we're supposed to be at the table eating peacefully. Okay, because that's not what's happening right now.
I'm with you. And speaking of black women, there was a very scary and interesting, and although happily ended, maybe not resolved completely yet, situation that happened over the past 3 days. Stark, you want to inform people on the case of the missing sister from Alabama, Miss Carlee Russell?
I will, yes. So, as a black woman, I'll say, as a black woman, I've always been told and taught, be careful. Don't trust people when you're out on the road. Don't pull over when it's dark outside, even if it is a police officer. Like, just be very mindful. Don't drive by yourself if you don't have to late at night. This particular story about Carlee Russell really touched me because some time ago, I'd heard this story about ways that like gangs would like either, you know, kidnap and rape and murder women, is they would put like a little seat with a little car seat things for kids like by the side of the road, because they know the women are going to be like, oh no, there's a child by the side of the road. Let me get out and do something. Let me help this child. Like using that characteristic against women. So for me, this hit hard, really home really hard. Apparently, you know, this woman, Carlee, thought she saw a toddler. She probably did see a toddler. They probably used a toddler because people use kids for everything nowadays. Thought she saw a toddler on the side of the road. Stopped. She was on the phone with her boyfriend's girlfriend, I believe. All of a sudden, there's like noise, and the girlfriend hears traffic. No, Carlee's nowhere to be found. There's no Tyler. There's no Carlee, but her car and her phone are there. So it's like, oh shit, what happened?
And the car was running.
And the car was running. Oh my God, I seen that movie, right? Like, did she get kidnapped? Is she murdered? Is she raped? Is she run over? Like, what's going on? Don't know anything. I was so glad, and I'm sure you were too. The nation gave a shit. It became national news that this Black woman in Alabama disappeared. So for that, I was grateful. And she came home. You can see this here. She walked home. She showed up at her house about 2 days later. We don't know the story yet, but we are glad she is home.
Absolutely. Like you said, the most encouraging thing about the whole situation was the media coverage it got. Nobody can sit here and say, oh, if it was a white woman, blah. Nah, that story got legs, and those legs took off. And hopefully it was that level of publicity that brought that woman back home, because normally these cases don't have happy endings.
Right.
And like you said, just to hear a story of just seeing a toddler on the side of an interstate, most folks are going to try to pull over and see what the hell is going on, because it's such a scary situation. And kudos for her for calling not just her family, but for also calling 911 before she called her family to let them know what was going on. So she had an actual police record of this woman reported this, and then she got on the phone with the family, and she waited for the authorities to get there. She did absolutely everything right. And that's a lot of that is probably why she was found, and hopefully why she was found safe.
Yeah. No, you're right. I was watching this thing yesterday. I fell into Dateline, honey. You know how those things run back to back. And one of the little men came on there and was basically saying that if you want to get away with murder, you have a better chance of doing it if you kill a Black person. You know, and so for me, that's always how I'm approaching these situations. And like, you're never going to hear about it. No one knows, no one cares. But I am just so thankful and glad that she's home. I hope that she's doing well. I hope that she has not been harmed in any way. And I'm very much looking forward to hearing about her and from her and seeing, you know, how she's doing and what happened.
Right. Because we know there's more to come. They said she came home this morning. She literally walked up on the porch, banged on the door, and boom, it was her. So I mean, thank God she was returned home, and she returned home safely. But there's a lot of questions. It's 2 days and a lot of questions. You know what I mean? You just hope everything is on the up and up. And again, you know, you're happy she's safe and everything rolls on.
Yeah, true.
And speaking of Black women in happier times, this week has been interesting only because the strangest, weirdest damn video I've ever seen in my life has gone viral, and it lived on my Twitter feed, and I could not understand why. I don't know, Dark, if you want to start the conversation. Should I share this with the people first, or how do you want to do this?
I don't know. How do you start? I mean, let me just say this. I swear I've seen this in a movie before. I swear, and it was about the future, but now the current is the future. I'm afraid.
Well, the current is absolutely the future, and let's share with the good people. Straight from the deck, folks. I apologize if you have not experienced this, but this is Ice Cream So Good, and I will be quiet and let you watch.
Amazing. Ice cream so good. Yes, popcorn. Fire. Ice cream so good. Slay. Fire. Thank you, Savvy. Thank you, Nave. Thank you, Rocio. Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, No.
Doc, I'm just gonna say, we live in a different world, man. We live in such a different world. I don't know what the hell is going on anymore. I don't understand anything anymore. Things that used to make sense don't make sense. I know they said like you just one day you're gonna wake up and you've gotten old, and that day has absolutely come for me because that shit was absurd. It was absolutely, what the fuck was that?
It's kind of like a virtual non-sexual OnlyFans. where you can like make requests for her to say things multiple times. And as I understand, she's getting paid, so it's not like it's for free.
Yeah, from curiosity got the best of me, so I went down the rabbit hole just to kind of see what the was going on. And apparently, like the emojis or whatever she's eating or interacting with, each one of those costs money. So anytime you see that pop up, she's getting paid for it, and I guess she has to do little stuff every. But like, why? Like, none of it makes sense to me. It was just odd and strange. And then it's like, why is it going viral? And now she's even bigger than she was. So now it's spawning copycats, and Lord have mercy. Why?
Well, but you know what though, Marcus? It's actually genius because she's a human avatar, right?
True.
So you're you're flipping it on its head, like you become the video game in real life on video. That's dope.
And one thing I will say, kudos for her for obtaining that level of success without shaking her ass in the air and putting her ass cheeks in front of the camera 24/7. Because we know how most do it, and it's not the way she's doing it. I mean, she's an attractive woman, yes, but she's not like that shit is weird, but she's not, it's not like this overtly sexual, like she found a lane. Like I can't knock the hustle because she found a lane. It's just a weird ass lane.
And there's a control element to me that I think my personality would only let go so far. But like, you're literally doing what people tell you, and there are people that get off on controlling other human beings. And so it's like a give and take though, because it's like you're giving the control to someone else and they're telling you what to do, but like you're in total control because they're paying you.
You know exactly, and that's the beauty of it. Right. It's like you're only given the illusion of control only because they know exactly what they're getting when they pay for it. So you're not getting anything more than that. And no matter how many times you press this button, it's still all you gonna damn get. But I'll do it every time you press the button. So again, kudos for her for creating the lane and getting paid. But boy, that's weird shit, man. I've seen a lot in my day, and that just tells me that boy, things have changed.
Well, could I like choose my own emojis and then have people choose from the emojis I've chosen?
I don't know. I would guess so. You know what I mean? I'm sure you could make it theme it all out, but hey, I don't even know how you would get started on that. But if you want to do it, I say rock out. Because again, there are worse ways to make money, and there are worse ways to make money on camera. And she's found a great way to get paid. Look, I put it like this. One thing I always say when it comes to this type of thing is that if her child stumbles on her videos 10 to 12 years from now, yeah, they might be a little weirded out, but they're not going to be shocked. They're not going to need any kind. He or she won't need any kind of psychological visitation to unsee the stuff he uncovered on his mother on the internet. Because boy, there's some women that got videos out there that when their kids discover them, oh boy.
I know. I don't even think this young lady had cleavage. Like there's really literally nothing to be ashamed of.
Right. It was just weird, man. Ice cream so good, yummy. Like, okay. It's one of the, like it was so cringe for me. Like I was embarrassed and scared and nervous.
You're embarrassed?
Because I was like, what is this? Like, and then it was like I was only curious because I kept trying to figure out what the fuck was going on, and it just kept getting stranger and weirder. And then I started seeing more and more people doing it. It was like, no. That's why I stay away from certain portions of the internet, man. No TikToks for me, man. You can TikTok that shit right out the front door, man. No, we gonna keep it 100.
All right. Well, we'll save our new ways of making money and not doing that. We'll pick something else.
Exactly. Well, Doc, it's been a great show. I guess we can wrap it up right here. You have anything else for the good folks?
Just enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Get a little sun if you can. It's still summertime, y'all. It's what they say. Stevie said, hotter than July. Hotter than July. Enjoy.
A wise person once told me it was hotter than 2 rats fucking in wool socks, and I leave y'all to think about that. But if you made it this far, like the video and subscribe. We're trying to get some traffic flowing, so please like and subscribe. We'll get this thing popping. You made it this far. Let's do the damn thing. Otherwise, y'all keep it peaceful, folks. Love is in the air. It's still summertime. Go out and enjoy that shit. Peace. Bye.